Doctors are puzzled. They are befuddled. They're so confused and they don't understand why, what is going on. And I just want to say, I'm not a doctor, nor am I a scientist. I barely graduated from high school, didn't do any college. So I'm definitely not a doctor. I'm definitely not an expert. But I think I know the answer to all of these questions that they're so befuddled and confused by. My name is Carrie, and I'm doing a documentary called Healing Humanity: The Power of a Proper Human Diet. Now, let's take a close look at some of these. I got a few I want to show you. Here's the first one: Rise in cancer among younger people worries and puzzles doctors. They're puzzled. I think I know the reason why. Let's look at a couple more of these first. Puzzled scientists seek reasons behind Africa's low fatality rates from pandemic. They're puzzled. This was on Reddit. Why is depression so common now, but was seemingly uncommon in the past? Oh, that's a good question. I think I know the answer to that. I'm going to answer all these questions for you. More young people are being diagnosed with cancer. Doctors don't know why. They don't know why. How do I know why? Well, here's one from the New York Times. Puberty starts earlier than it used to. No one knows why. Not no one. I know why. I know why. Actually, I know a couple doctors that know why too. Infertility affects a staggering 1 in 6 people. I think I know why. Cancer incidence rising among adults under 50. New report says leaving doctors searching for answers. I'm going to give you the answer right here in this video. So let's take a closer look at some of these. Here, let's go with this one first. Puzzled scientists seek. Oh, we're gonna have a bunch of ads pop up now. Hold on here. Puzzled scientists seek reasons behind Africa's low fatality rates from pandemic. They want reasons. I will give you a very quick and easy reason. Actually, first, I'm going to answer each of these individually. So stay tuned till the end, but I'm going to answer them all now very succinctly. The reason for all of these issues, the reason that in the United States right now, obesity is at 70%, heart disease is the number one killer, uh, depression, anxiety is grim. 40% of college students are depressed. Type 2 diabetes going up. Billions and billions of dollars spent on cancer, and we barely made a dent in it. Humanity needs healing. Humanity is sicker now than they've ever been. Ailment after ailment, issue after issue, but there's this societal norm that people are adhering to that it's just the way things have always been. I'm sure it's just fine. It's not fine. So the answer that is befuddling scientists and doctors of the world, that this dummy right here that didn't even go to college is going to give you the answer for, is very simple. And here it is: humans have departed from what is natural. That's it. The further away humans get from what is natural, the sicker and sicker we get. That's it. You don't have to be befuddled anymore. You don't have to be confused or puzzled anymore. That is simply what is going on. Humans are doing that through nutrition mainly. It's just the foods we're eating. I wouldn't classify them as foods. It's we're not going outside. We're not getting fresh air. We're not getting sunlight. We're sitting under fluorescent lights the entire day. We're breathing recirculated dirty air from our house, and we're not staring at screens all day. And we're going like this over and over and over again. We've escaped from what is natural, and the further and further we escape from what is natural, the sicker and sicker we get. And the majority of it, the vast majority of all of these issues I just showed you, it's just nutrition and the foods people are eating. So we got some different examples here, but let's go have a little fun here. I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist, but I'm going to answer some questions for these puzzled and befuddled scientists. Reasons behind Africa's low fatality rates from the pandemic. Why did fewer people die in Alaska? Well, in Africa, the obesity rate in the United States, it's around 70%. The obesity rate in Africa, it's around 9%. Africa is healthier than the United States. That's your answer. You don't have to be puzzled anymore. We're eating all sorts of processed garbage, junk, sugar, seed oils, red dyes, all sorts of artificial natural flavors. The majority of things that people eat now, they're just not food. You go in the grocery store, there's 60,000 products, and almost every one of those is complete and utter waste. If not waste, poison. There's slow poisons that people are slowly killing themselves with. Sugar is one of the biggest ones. It's in almost every product in the grocery store. Seed oils is another one now that's in almost every product in the grocery store. But sugar is an addictive drug that we've normalized. You guys are looking at me like I'm crazy. I'm the crazy one. Tell me how it's not an addictive drug that we've normalized. That very sickly we get children hooked on from a young age. We put cartoon characters all over cereal boxes. We tell them breakfast is the most important meal of the day, and we give them trick or treat and birthday cakes, and we tell them it's just fine. And yet everyone's getting sicker and sicker and sicker. I'm sure it's just fine. So there's your answer. So we got one of those done. Let's close that one. Let's go to another one here. Why is depression so common now, but was seemingly uncommon in the past? Because it's rampant. Because the rates of depression are increasing. Uh, who do you know that isn't anxious right now, other than me? I have zero anxiety. I have zero depression. I have been eating the proper human diet for over 300 days now. I was clinically depressed, suicidally depressed for 10 years. I was searching for some sort of answer to get rid of this depression. I tried every SSRI. I was on cocktail of different medications for mental health issues. They did nothing for me. Eating the proper human diet did. Eliminating sugar, seed oils, processed junk. I eat beef, butter, bacon, eggs, and I've never felt better my entire life. Why is depression so common now, but it wasn't before? Because the rates of people eating processed garbage food, sugar, seed oils, artificial ingredients that we can't even pronounce half of the stuff in the foods we're eating. Everyone thinks it's normal. It's not normal. The rates of that consumption is just going through the roof. And so is the rate of depression and anxiety. So, for anyone that was confused on that one, we're done. There you go. There's your answer. More young people are being diagnosed with cancer, and doctors don't know why. Rise in cancer among younger people worries and puzzles doctors. Shout out to my very good friend, Mr. Jeffrey DeProsperous. He is on a journey to be cancer free. He's an amazing individual. He introduced me to Professor Thomas Seyfried, who is a cancer researcher out of Boston College. And he says cancer is a metabolic disease and there's metabolic treatments for it. He says cancer is most often caused from chronic inflammation. Chronic inflammation. What do we get chronic inflammation from? Well, you could get that from smoking for years and years. You could get that from consuming toxins for years and years, or maybe not even that long. You could get it from many things, but I had chronic inflammation before I started the proper human diet over 300 days ago from the foods I was eating. Sugar is highly inflammatory. Seed oils, all this processed, unnatural food we're eating is highly inflammatory. You eat highly inflammatory foods, and big shocker, big surprise, your body becomes highly inflamed. You do that for a little while, and you get brain fog and you get fatigue, and you're tired all the time. That's how I was for years and years. And that's how most of you are that are watching this right now. Most of you watching this right now, you're eating sugar, you're eating seed oils, you're looking at me like I'm the crazy guy, that I'm being overly dramatic, but you're fatigued and you have brain fog and you feel like garbage and you don't feel like a proper human like I do, and you're wondering why, but it's a social norm. It's so hard to break that I seem like the odd one out and the crazy one. But as you eat highly inflammatory foods for years and years, and it turns into decades and decades, you do it long enough, you're going to end up getting cancer. You're going to end up getting heart disease. You're going to end up getting Alzheimer's. You're going to end up getting dementia. So more young people are being diagnosed with cancer, and doctors don't know why. I know why. It's because they're eating highly inflammatory foods. I think that's the biggest reason. It's causing chronic inflammation. It damages the mitochondria, and you get cancer. What are some other reasons why? Chemicals, pesticides, forever chemicals. I mean, they're everywhere. Some people will say, "Oh, I eat so healthy." Well, what does that mean? I believe I eat healthier than anyone does. I eat only meat. I eat nothing else. I know that's completely insane to most of you watching this, and that's fine. Do some more research on it. Plants. I eat salad. I'm so healthy. That's what people tell me. It's so good for you. The romaine lettuce or iceberg lettuce has got 14 calories in it. These fruits and vegetables are completely saturated with pesticides. We take and we sprinkle some water over them under the sink and we think, oh, it's fine now. Like none of that poisonous permeated inside of the vegetable. We are slowly poisoning ourselves with these pesticides. And now, if that wasn't bad enough, the pesticides contain forever chemicals. Do you guys know what forever chemicals are? They did a couple documentaries about those a while ago. There's a big movie came out too, I think, with Mark Ruffalo in it about the forever chemicals. They're used in nonstick pans. They're in carpet. They're probably in this desk. They're probably in my keyboard. They're everywhere, and they're in your body, and they're in my body, and they will be in our bodies forever. Those forever chemicals are now also in pesticides. Pesticides on the fruits and vegetables that so many people eat because they're so healthy. The fruits are just so healthy for you. The fruits that have been perverted and modified thousands of times to taste like candy now. An orange of today is nothing like an orange of 100 years ago. An apple of today is nothing like an apple 100 years ago. It's pure sugar, like the 60,000 other products in the grocery store. You eat an apple, and 2 hours later, you're starving again, and then you're eating a processed granola bar or some other garbage. And that's what they want you to do. They hook you on sugar. They tell you breakfast is the most important meal of the day. You get that sugar fix right in the morning, and all day you're consuming sugar. And all week you're consuming sugar. And then years and years go by, and decades go by, and you're chronically inflamed, and you have cancer or Alzheimer's or diabetes or heart disease. It's all very simple. It's the foods we're eating. So more young people are being diagnosed with cancer, and doctors don't know why. Doctors, there is your answer. I think I covered two with that one. Oh, boom, I did. I covered two. Oh, here's another one. New York Times, prestigious New York Times. Puberty starts earlier than it used to. No one knows why. I know why. I know why. Because we're feeding children improper, I don't even want to say foods. We're not feeding children food. How's that? We start them out at a young age with sugar and processed garbage. They walk through the aisle at the grocery store and they see cereal boxes with cartoon characters on it. And they say, "Mommy, give me that one. Give me that one." They have a birthday. And what is the reward at a birthday? Birthday cake. Let's have some cake with some icing on it, pure sugar, pure processed, pure garbage. Let's spike them and let's get them hooked early from a young age. Then we can have Halloween and we can celebrate candy there. They can go to grandma's house and grandma means well. She doesn't know any better. It's her social norm that hasn't been broken. Grandma thinks it's fine. Here's some candy for the little kid. We've demonized fatty meat, which is what we need. It's what I needed. It's what got me out of my depression. Why? Why did that happen? Because my hormones were imbalanced. Why were my hormones imbalanced? Because I wasn't eating any fatty meat. My cholesterol went down. You eat that fatty meat, your cholesterol goes up, your hormones balance, you start sleeping better. Your my testosterone went up. I started to feel like a man. I started to feel good, like a proper human, and the depression went away, and it's gone forever. I am fearless now. I have no depression. I have no anxiety. Children, puberty starts earlier than it used to. No one knows why. That is why. They're not being fed the proper foods that humans have literally eaten since the start of time. I use this analogy often. I'm going to use it again. Imagine an entire football field, 100 yards wide. For that entire time, since the beginning of time for humans, humans ate like I do. They ate fatty meat. They would hunt and gather. They'd go out in the frozen snow behind me. They'd hunt a big animal. They'd kill the animal. They would eat it, and then they would probably fast for a couple days so they could find another one. And maybe in the middle of summer for a couple weeks, they'd get a few berries here. Which, by the way, those aren't the same berries you get in the grocery store that are laden with pesticides and sitting on the shelf for a week and forever chemicals. They primarily ate meat. Imagine that whole football field. Imagine a blade of grass on the end. That represents the standard American diet, the cultural norm that you guys think I'm crazy for. The majority of you watching this think I'm crazy because you're doing the normal thing. You're eating your fruits and your vegetables and your Doritos and your ice cream. You have some snacks. You have some sugar. It's not that bad. What could possibly go wrong? That's the social norm. That is the biggest fad diet in the world, the standard American diet. It's a blade of grass on a 100-yard football field. The majority of the time, people have been eating like me. Humans are made to eat like I eat. And now we're putting all of this crazy garbage into our bodies. It's pure waste. It's waste in, it's waste out. And kids, children, girls, young men, their hormones are completely unbalanced, and it's a big shock. Like it's clearly not a shock to me, but most people, that's a big shock. That's a big, oh, we got to think about it. I mean, look at the article from the prestigious New York Times. No one knows why. Really? Like, again, I never went to college. I'm not a scientist. I'm not a very smart person, but I can put this together. I can put one and one together and it equals two. We're eating an inordinate amount of garbage, waste food, and everyone is getting sicker. That is why. It's very simple. Humans have escaped from what is natural. I've used this analogy before. Shout out to the wonderful Dr. Anthony Chafee. He planted this little seed and I've changed it around a little bit, but behind me, I have some beautiful woods with some snow in it. Now, there's deer out there all the time. Imagine I looked out that window and I saw a deer and its belly was hanging down. It was touching the snow on the ground. Its belly was dragging on the ground and its patches of fur were missing, had big bags underneath its eyes, and it's limping because it's arthritic and it's all crusty. It could barely walk. You'd be like, oh my goodness, what's wrong with that deer? Shoot that thing. It's sick. It must have some sort of disease. Go to the grocery store right now. Go out into public right now. Almost every human you'll see now, the majority of them, 70% are obese. They're going to look just like that deer, and you're going to think nothing of it. If you fed the deer in the woods the food that most humans eat, the deer would look like the humans and its belly would be touching its ground and its fur would be coming up, and you'd say, shoot that animal, there's something wrong with it. It would also be it'd be indecent. It would be cruel and unusual behavior to feed an animal that poison. But humans are willingly eating it because it's been normalized, and I'm sure it's just fine. Look around. Everybody is sicker and sicker than they ever have been before. We got to break this social norm that seed oils and sugar and processed food, it's just fine. Now look at the statistics and look around. So, quick little video today. I just wanted to share that. Again, I am obviously not a doctor. I'm not a scientist, but hopefully I cleared that up for a couple of doctors and scientists who were just befuddled and confused, and no one knows why. I know why, and I've been so fortunate and so blessed to talk to some very good doctors. The New York Times article I shared with Dr. Robert Kiltz, a fertility doctor of 30 years. That man is absolutely incredible and amazing. Oh, and by the way, he eats like I do, a carnivore. Oh, and by the way, he has helped an untold number of people start their families. What an amazing individual. Never able to have a baby. And those folks were wondering why. They didn't know that was their social norm. He explained to them why, and now they have families and now they have babies. If you guys want a smile on your face, go check out Dr. Robert Kiltz and his channel. Anytime I need a little pep, uh, a little smile on my face, I'll watch one of his live streams. He's so humble and amazing, but you'll just see comment after comment from mothers and fathers and young families that are like, thank you, Dr. Kiltz. I have a family now because of you. It's absolutely incredible. So, and I just want to end this with saying there's some really good doctors out there. These ones are confused and puzzled, but there's some amazing good doctors out there, like Dr. Robert Kiltz, like Dr. Tony Hampton, absolutely incredible. Dr. Ken Berry, Dr. Anthony Chafee, Dr. Baker, Dr. Philip Ovadia. It's really, really good, smart doctors. By the way, all those people I just mentioned, they eat like I do. I know they're crazy, they're outliers, and you guys got it right. But there's some very good doctors out there that are bravely going against the grain and getting the word out there. And we have to elevate the voices of these true, good, honest doctors. So I encourage everyone that watches my channel, stop watching this. Go watch Dr. Hampton's channel, subscribe to his channel, uh, give it a thumbs up. Dr. Baker, Dr. Chafee, Dr. Berry, we have to elevate the voices. We are social deviants, and that's a good thing. That means that we're doing something differently, but we're all having amazing, incredible results. I'm down over 100 pounds since my heaviest, lost most of that on carnivore, a little bit on keto, but I've overcome horrible depression and anxiety. I no longer need a CPAP machine. I don't snore anymore. My arthritis is gone. My IBS is gone. These are all things I was diagnosed with. And this, I'm not unique. So many positive deviant carnivores like myself reported the same thing. I mean, there's millions of them now. It is spreading like wildfire. It is absolutely insane, but we have to elevate the voices of these people so other people that are suffering can see, hey, this social norm, I see that guy Carrie eating meat, talking about beef, butter, bacon, eggs. He's crazy. Maybe he's not so crazy because I'm sitting here aching and paining and I got fatigue and I got brain fog and I'm depressed and I'm anxious and I got gout. Maybe I should look a little closer and just try it. What could possibly go wrong? So I encourage you, if you're watching this, please elevate the voices of these good doctors. I don't want you to elevate my voice. Go away. Go to a different channel. What those guys are doing is so important. I never would have started this if not for the good doctors like Dr. Berry and Dr. Chafee and Dr. Tony Hampton. Um, it's changed my life forever. but we gotta elevate their voices. So subscribe to their videos, share them out to the world. There's other people out there in the world right now, millions of people, more so than ever, that are going through depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, that are completely hopeless, and they don't have to be. It would be wrong of us to withhold this information and not share it with the world and help the hopeless. It's my mission in life now. It's my goal in life. Uh, Healing humanity, the power of a proper human diet. Thank you so much for watching.